Down comes the rain. What do we need to put on over us or put on when we is in the rain? I see some umbrellas. I see some raincoats. I see boots. And look at the rain coming down. Okay, look at those animals. Look like they having fun running in the rain after each other. Rain comes from cloud. It comes from big clouds and little clouds. It comes from black clouds, white clouds, and gray clouds. All clouds, big ones and little ones, gray ones and white ones, are made of billions of tiny drops of water. The drops are called droplets because they are so small. If this is the size of a drop of water, a droplet would be just a tiny speck, even smaller than this one. This is a drop and this is a droplet, real small. Water droplets come from water vapor. Water vapor is a gas. There's always water vapor in the air, but you can't see it, can't smell it, and you can't feel it. Water vapor is made when water vapor evaporates. That means the water changes from a liquid to a gas. In the morning, put a teaspoon of water in a saucer. By that night, it may have evaporated into the air. That means it'll dry up. When wet clothes hang on the clothesline, the water in them evaporates. The heat from the sun changes the water drops and droplets into water vapor. Just like the heat from the stove changes water in the kettle to water vapor. If you heat it long enough, all the water boils away. The water vapor goes into the air. Most of the water vapor in the air comes from lakes, rivers, and oceans. It comes from the leaves of plants and from the wet ground. Heat from the sun causes the water to evaporate. The water changes from a liquid to a gas, and the water vapor goes into the air. It goes up in the air. When you breathe out, you put water vapor into the air. Usually you cannot see the water vapor, but it is there. Sometimes if it's cold, you can see your breath. That's because the water vapor condenses. It changes from a gas to a little cloud. When cows, horses, dogs, and cats breathe out, they put water vapor into the air. On a cold day, the water vapor changes to droplets and makes little clouds you can see. Look at those little clouds. You can make water vapor change to water. Put a lot of ice into a glass of water. As the glass gets colder, the outside of the glass gets wet. See, when that ice right here, and then you see the water gets around on the glass. Water vapor in the air is condensing on the glass. Look at that, all that water. There may be so much condensation that the glass drips. Sometimes the glass stays dry. That means there is not much water vapor in the air. The air holds the water vapor. Breezes carry it from one place to another. Much of the vapor moves up and away from the earth. Water drops growing by combining with each other to form large drops. Look at there, right there, they're combining. Water vapor condenses to form droplets. Rising water vapor. Air above the earth is always cold. The higher you go, the colder it gets. When air gets cold enough, the water vapor in it condenses. The vapor changes to water droplets. The water droplets make clouds. When clouds are thick and dark, they are holding much more water. When clouds are thin and wispy, they are holding only a little water. A single droplet is so small you cannot see it, but you can see a cloud. That's because there are millions and millions and millions of water droplets in a cloud. Inside the clouds, droplets join together to make drops. When the drops are too heavy to stay up in the clouds, they fall to earth. The sky is full of them. They fall through the air and splatter on the ground. They are raindrops. Look at them. They feel flying their kites. Sometimes there are only a few small raindrops that fall slowly. It is drizzling. Sometimes there are lots of big drops that fall very fast. Now it is pouring. That means a lot of water. When it's drizzling, it's just a light rain. Sometimes the drops in clouds freeze. These raindrops become ice crystals. This can happen even on a hot summer day. Some clouds may be higher than most airplanes ever go. The higher the clouds, the colder they are. That's because the clouds and water droplets are high above the earth. Many clouds are so high that they are freezing cold. In these high, cold clouds, water vapor changes to droplets, and the droplets change to drops. The drops freeze into ice. See, this is water vapor, then the droplets, then drops, and then ice crystals. Inside the cloud, these tiny bits of ice start to fall, but they don't always fall out of the cloud. Instead, they may be carried upward by the air that is moving away from the earth. As they are carried upward, more water collects on the tiny bits of ice. When that water freezes, the crystals of ice have another layer on them. The ice crystals are now heavier, so once more they fall toward the earth. But air moving away from the earth may carry the ice crystals upward again. Higher and higher they go, and another layer of ice freezes on them. The ice crystals get heavier and heavier. They get so heavy that the air can no longer carry them upward. So the ice crystals fall to the earth. It is raining ice. The ice crystals grow larger and fall to the earth as hailstones. They may be the size of your fingernail, or they may be as big as the golf balls, or even bigger. In 1970, hailstones as big as softballs fell on Kansas. Fields of corn were flattened by the hailstones. Hailstones are not stones, they're pieces of ice. So when it hails, go inside so you're not hit on the head. When it stops hailing, go outside and pick up a hailstone, break it in two, and you will see the layers of ice. Because while those hailstones are falling down, they might hurt you a little bit. You know, it might pain it just a little bit. Water in the clouds can make hail. Water in the clouds make rain too. When it stops raining or hailing, the sun comes out. Once more, water evaporates. Water evaporates from lakes, rivers, and oceans. It evaporates from the leaves of plants and from the wet ground. The water changes to water vapor. It carries up and away from the earth, where the air is cool or even freezing. When the water vapor cools, it condenses. The water vapor changes to water drops, and altogether the droplets make clouds. Water droplets join together to make water drops. The drops fall to the earth from the clouds. Once more, it is raining. The end.